So what sort of week has it been for you on the training ground with the lads after that defeat at the weekend?
Yeah, normal week. One result doesn't flip how we go about our work. We've built up a way of working and a way of playing over a period of time now, and that didn't change when we've had some good results, and it definitely won't change because we had a 15-20 minute spell in a game that didn't go to plan. So we're looking forward to the next group of games really, and certainly the next game, which is Friday. Good challenge, big challenge, and the boys are looking forward to the game.
Do you feel in any way that the players took a little bit of a knock to their confidence though? Because obviously it was a game against a team that was struggling, and you probably would have expected to win it. Is it sometimes that thing of, it's harder to play a team that's battling down at the bottom than one that's at the top?
No, not necessarily. I think it's just football. It's two teams. We've all got our own agendas and trying to play in a certain way and trying to win games. We've won quite a few games. We've lost games against other teams who are good teams, Sunderland, West Broms, of this world, and that's how it is. You suffer setbacks at times. We weren't particularly poor last week. We just had a spell that 4 shots, four went in, and you got to take that on the chin. But we're looking forward to it. It hasn't knocked us. The boys are in good spirits, and we'll keep looking forward.
As I say, it was like 3 goals in 15 minutes. Was it a case of just losing concentration and perhaps the defending not being quite on the mark, or what would you put it down to?
Yeah, it's just a period of the game. Sometimes it goes. I think it just shows how well we've played over a period of time. That there hasn't been many cases of any of them moments within games. So it happens. Sometimes you can't always have a reason, or you can't blame the players for certain things. It goes against you at times, and we'll learn from it. We have learned from it, but we'll look ahead. It's more important.
What have you learned? What have you learned from it? Because obviously it's a whole learning experience for you as well. What have you learned from it this week?
No big deal really. It's just a game of football. We'll move on. I'm looking forward to the next game, like we have done every week since I've been here.
Can you use it then as a little bit of a wake-up call, a bit of a nudge to the players to say, look, you can't afford to be a bit complacent, for want of a better word. You've got to be on it all the time.
No, just go again. Don't need a wake-up call. The boys have been fantastic. The attitude and the way they go about the business. No need to keep looking back. We haven't done it since I've been here. We aren't going to start now.
So it's all about, I know it is all about the next game. Next game is Burnley, and obviously Sunderland held Burnley to a goal of straw at their place last weekend. Is there anything you can learn from that game? I know it's at the Riverside, but is there anything you can learn from the way they played against Burnley?
We'll always watch, obviously, opposition, like every team does when you play, and you watch different games and you watch teams, how they've gone about it, what's worked, what maybe hasn't worked, and try and take little things. We play the way we play, and we want to get better at what we do. So there's always that balance of adapting a little bit. But of course, we watch games and try and take things and try and put it into our performance if we think it'll help us. Yeah.
And obviously, it looks like Burnley are going to be promoted sooner rather than later, probably. Does it very much depend on what sort of frame of mind they're in as well when they come up here?
It's only about us, to be honest. I can't control what they're doing. They've had a fantastic season. They're a really good team with really good manager, and whatever frame of mind they're at, we'll expect the best version of them, and whatever happens. I'm sure they're not spending much time thinking what frame of mind we're in, and we're not spending much time thinking about what frame of mind they're in. It's about us being the best version of us, and looking forward to the game. What
did Neil Warnock say to you at the weekend? Did he have much of a chat with you?
I didn't really speak to him after the game. I didn't get a chance to see him actually. No.
Oh, that's a shame. No, he's just. You'll know he's an amazing character at times. I just wondered if he sort of given you any words of wisdom or anything.
No, unfortunately, I had to went off and done some interviews. So they're obviously having a really good run at the moment, and he's a terrific manager. He's done it for a number of years, as I've already said, and we wish them well in the running.
So what are you expecting from Burnley then?
Pretty much like I've said, they're a good team. They're at the top of the league for a reason. they've got good players. They're well coached. You know, it's a good game for us to go and enjoy and play as well as we can do. I think we've gained a lot of confidence and belief over the last few months. But it's not a game where we judge totally where we are because of one game. We definitely didn't judge it because we lost one game last week. It won't tell the story of where we are as a team. You earn that over a period of time. So we look forward to this game, one-off game, to go and try and win it.
Thank you.
Tom? What after a defeat like last week or after a win, what does the kind of hours after look like for you? Eddie Howe was after the cup final. Eddie Howe was saying as soon as he got back to his hotel, he was watching the cup final again. What do you do after a defeat like Saturday?
It kind of depends, to be honest. I think there's all sorts of different things come into play. I think trying to be quite balanced, rational in terms of judging the performance, judging the whys and the wherefores of what's gone right, what's maybe not gone to plan, and trying to stay balanced with it. I think, as I said, for 45 minutes, we done everything we hoped for in the game. We controlled the game. We had played well in terms of the hard to play against, the hard to create chances. We went 1-0 up. We were in a good place. We had 20 minutes where moments went against us, and then, you know, how much do you beat yourself up over that? Of course, we look at it and learn from it, but actually, you know, I've said it from the start here, it's about being stable and consistent and keeping your emotions in check, really, and that I've done that when we've won. I certainly got to do that when you lose, because got to have perspective of the game itself, but actually where we are and the position that we're in, and we're in a position now where we're as high as we've been all season in terms of position in the league. Great place to be. Games coming up, so it's not beat ourselves up at all. It's what's ahead, look forward, because we've earned ourselves and put ourselves in a great position for the end of the league.
Last week you were saying kind of when you get the job, it quickly becomes your everything. How have you found home life as a manager? Is it hard to switch off? Can you is that, you know, do you shut the door and you can block everything else out?
I see more of duty than I do.
That's not bad,
I'll let you decide that. Yeah, obviously I live up here. My kids and my wife are in Manchester, so it's my home life is a little bit mixed in terms of trying to get home and see them. But of course, you're all in. You know, it takes over your life. Of course, it does. It should do. It did when I was playing. It certainly does now. And it's what we enjoy about it. You know, the responsibility and the challenge of improving all the time. And yeah, it's great. It's all I know. So it's a great place to be. I love working here, and I've said it many times, and so it doesn't feel like it's hard work. It's just it's the next challenge of trying to become better.
To ask you about Marcus Forss, you've kind of been asked over and over and over again about what you saw in Sugar Akpom and moving back to number 10, and yet moving Forss to the right was probably just as a surprise move at the time. What did you see that made you think that would work, and how has it worked? Why has it worked?
Yeah, he's obviously got a great return of goals, Marcus, and again, it's just instinct in some ways of trying things, and sometimes you try little things that work, sometimes maybe it's all right, okay, it wasn't how we thought, and we'll change it, but Marcus has done fantastically well since we changed him over. Even before that, to be honest, he done well and give the team a lot playing through the middle, but he's had a good return of goals, he's had real productivity in his game, and it's not easy to adapt sometimes to positions, and it's credit to the players that have tweaked the positions a little bit, that the willingness to do that and listen, and he's been terrific. I mean, he's got great energy, he presses very well, he's a real threat in the box and a natural finisher, and he gives us a good balance.
The previous manager described him as a development signing when he came, and suggested he wasn't ready, he was maybe one for the future. Did you see instantly that he was ready, he was part of your plans for here and now?
I think it's hard to say instantly, you know. I think it takes a bit of time, and of course when I came in I was getting to know all the players, and you quickly learn the boys' history and recent history and what's happened and what they're good at, and just trying to adapt and use them at the best that we can for themselves and obviously for us. So I think it takes time sometimes, and Marcus has definitely improved as his confidence has grown, and he's performed well and scored goals. So I'm sure there's loads more to come from Marcus. That's the beauty of it at the moment.
And last one from me, Isaiah Jones, he hasn't been in the squad the last few weeks. Have you seen or have you not seen what you wanted from him in terms of a reaction, the fact that he hasn't been able to force his way back in?
I think it's just the quality of the group at the moment and the quality of the squad. I think there's two sides to obviously having that. There's players that are really good players, good lads who unfortunately will miss out at times, but at the same point for the group it gives us real flexibility, good options, and feel really strong. And that's football. Sometimes through your career you're in and you're flying. Other times it's you're maybe not involved as much as you want to be, but that can change so quickly. I think we all know that can happen so quickly, even though at some point you feel that you're further away than you actually are. But that is the thing about being in a successful team and a strong squad of the competition for places, and the boys are thriving off that at the moment.
I've seen some reports this week that Jones could be available in the summer on his club sniffing around. Can he force his way back into your plans, or is there...
Nah, he's part of the squad, a big part of the squad. He's like every player, and as I said, it looks at times because he maybe hasn't been involved, and like other players haven't been involved, but it doesn't mean that far away. It's just we've got good options and we've got a really strong squad, and but no, I couldn't write any player off at all. There's a lot of games to play, even though it doesn't feel many. There's a lot of football still to play. So we'll need everyone, and we have had everyone all season, and we'll need the group to stay strong, which they have been.
Thank you.
Just after obviously your previous defeats in the league, I think Huddersfield was only the 5th. After your previous 4, you've gone on to win the next following game. What do you put that down to, and how important has it been to sort of put those bad results just under the carpet and move on?
I think you're just trying to be stable, really, and obviously stay calm to a point. I think we don't enjoy losing games. It's not a nice experience. It's not one that we want to have to learn from. But at the same point, I think it probably shows the spirit in the group and the togetherness and the character within the squad to keep believing. It's another game Friday. It's a different game completely. So in terms of the bouncing back and what we've done next, we've never spoken about what's gone back before. It's always about what's next, and that whether we've won or we haven't won. It's about looking forward. That's exactly what we'll do this week.
Obviously it is Burnley next. I mean, do you take anything from the result earlier on in the season and maybe perhaps slight changes heading into this one?
I think we can look at it, of course, for what the game was, and little things we could have changed or done better, or problems we could have caused them a bit more, or what they caused us. Of course you go into it to a point, but there's a lot of football and a lot of water under the bridge since then, so you've got to be in the present as well, and that's just part of preparing for any game, of trying to do the things we're good at as much as we can.
What have you made of the job that Vincent Kompany's done at Burnley this season?
Yeah, obviously terrific job. I think a lot of change within the group and the squad and within the football club, and to be sitting where they are so far out there and in a good position for them is credit to all of them. I think they've gone about a really good way, played some good football, real balanced in terms of scoring goals, creating chances, and not giving much away. So it's, as I said, credit to them. They've had a fantastic season.
Just a couple on sort of the under-21s. I think they're the highest finished club in the North East at Newcastle, Sunderland. I mean, how much does that bode well for the future, given the players like Sonny Finch, Hayden Hackney, people like that who've come through in recent weeks?
Yeah, of course, it's a big part of the club. It's a big part of us as first team staff is trying to get the younger players up with us, to train with us, to have a look at them, to give them a chance, to show what they can do when they're in and around the group. And it's a strong group, so it's not easy for the younger players to come up and step up and feel comfortable. But in terms of the performance level, I really enjoy seeing them coming up and having a chance and giving them that feeling that they have a chance. That's important, it's they need to feel that, and certainly we'll give as many as we possibly can the chance, in terms of not always getting to the first team and playing, but more chance of being around the first team and seeing what it's like in development, and then giving us the opportunity to look to make a judgment on them, and that's a massive part of the football club.
Camille Conte is obviously someone who went out on loan prior to you coming into the club, but he's just secured a trip to Wembley with Gateshead. Have you spoken to him at all, or are you keeping a sort of close eye on how he...
I haven't spoken to him, no, but it's a terrific experience. You know, playing at Wembley and in such a big occasion, I think that's the beauty of younger players getting different experiences. Some is it's really successful because they're winning, they're playing every week, getting experiences like that. Or there's where you might be out the team a little bit and you've got to fight, get back in the team, or you've got to live away from home, and you've got. I think that's the beauty of the loans for the younger players, and gaining as much experience as you can, as broadly as you can, to help you in your career ahead. So obviously, I'll wish them all the best. It's a huge game and a great experience.